Stan, how we doing?
Guys, what's up, guys?
Not a whole heck of a lot. How you feeling?
No, feeling pretty good, pretty good.
You look good, Stan.
Thank you, thank you. I don't look that much different, do I?
No, not yet. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you back on your feet,
Yeah,
though. And then,
wait until I stand up.
oh,
That's all I can do.
well, I mean,
How's that? Is
that's
that
not
good?
that's not nothing.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. Just kidding. Just kidding.
What do you mean? Stan, how much have you been able to watch the Orioles consistently?
Yes, I've
Okay.
been able to watch
All right,
them
all right.
consistently.
What did you think of Wednesday's game?
It's a pretty remarkable game. It's amazing that the history of things, that they hadn't done something like that since 2009
Mm-hmm.
and then back in 54. But the night before, they did something they had never done before as an organization since 54, which is give up a run in every inning
Right.
of the game. So it's kind of interesting how those things kind of cross over.
Right.
But
At one point, I believe the Orioles had given up 19 consecutive runs to the Tigers, and they
I think
actually
21. I think
21
yeah, 'cause it was
consecutive runs.
14,
Okay,
yeah,
right,
and seven.
and they actually managed to win one of those games, which is pretty remarkable.
yeah, that is pretty remarkable.
All right, so the starting pitcher on Wednesday was Trevor Rogers.
Correct.
And that's one of the players that the Orioles have to make a decision on ahead of the deadline because he's a free agent at the end of the year. I was talking to you the other day, Stan, and you said that your position on Trevor has changed a little bit in the past week or so. What do you think?
I still very much want him on the Baltimore Orioles in 2027, but I'm saying provided that Mike Elias can pick up a starting pitcher. And I mentioned Tyler Mahle to you the other day, Luke. We did that Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I'll include Robbie Ray in that. I saw
Mm-hmm.
that the Giants are willing to take some of the $8 million. They'll
Right.
probably pay half of that. So you get Robbie Ray for $4 million for 2 months. I'd be very interested then in moving Rogers, because I think Rogers could potentially bring you like two really good players.
Right.
Not the return that I saw last night for AJ Minter.
Right.
When the
two lottery tickets.
Really, that was a trade that was similar to like when we traded Andrew Cashman to the Red Sox.
Right.
For two 19-year-olds.
Right. Okay.
So I'm very open to trading Rogers,
Mm-hmm.
but letting him know on the way out that we hope you and your agent will negotiate with us in good faith, because I think the Orioles would be very foolish not to attempt to reel him in.
So we were talking about this last night. The team 35 miles to the south actually has a very similar situation on their hands with Foster Griffin, who is a free agent at the end of the year. He's been one of the best left-handers in the sport this year.
Yeah.
How is the situation different or similar with Foster Griffin and the Nationals? Because that's another name, much like Trevor Rogers. If you miss out on Skubal and want a left-hand starter, those are the guys you're after, I would imagine.
Well, I think the time to really been aggressive in trying to sign Trevor Rogers would have been last off season. Where you could have possibly got him for $20 to $30 million cheaper than it now will probably cost.
Right.
I wrote a column about it, that I thought that was box number one for me, was extending Trevor Rogers. I was not foolish enough to believe he was going to be exactly what he was last year, in those 18, 19 starts. But I thought, get him signed now, make it a bit of an overpay now, because you're just going to pay more later. And then I didn't bail on the idea of that, even when his ERA was 6.98. I knew there was a decent pitcher in there. And I think the Orioles will not rue the day, because they still may end up with him, because I honestly do believe that he wants to be here. It's just that once somebody gets out the door, they can find other reasons to like the new city like Atlanta
Right.
or Chicago just as much.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I guess like we Glenn and I had talked about this with Zach Moore at Pick Down Sports, and he mentioned the same thing, like lock this guy down. But with the way that Rogers is kind of been talking, at least the way he's been talking to the Banner. Obviously, we saw that article this week when he said he's focused on getting. I mean, he's going to go to free agency. He's not signing an extension. So
Right.
I mean. It's really tough. I mean, it's really tough. Is a comp pick worth? Is it worth getting a compensatory pick if you hold him for the next 2 months here and the Orioles? I don't know. They end up doing.
I think they can do. I think they can do better and still make an honest attempt to re-sign him. Or you never know. Robbie Ray may come here. I'm just throwing his name out there, but he's 34 years old. But he's a dynamic, still a dynamic pitcher. He's not going to go 8-9 innings like he did a couple years ago, but for 5-6 innings, he can really be. And maybe he likes it here and signs a reasonable deal. A 2-year, $40 million deal or something. So,
Stan, what do you think is more likely come 6:01 on Monday night? The Orioles will have made.
I'll bet you're eating a hamburger.
Yeah. So the Orioles will have made some small tweaks in terms of moving out expiring contracts, but basically bringing back everyone for next year and giving it another go, or they really shake up the core and move out 1 or 2 core pieces and try to reimagine.
I don't see any chance in hell that they're going to trade Jackson Holiday. I don't quite get where his name. I know he'd be desired by some people.
Jeff Passan on his podcast this week threw it out. He was rattling off. He was talking about Taylor Ward, and then he quickly rattled off that the Orioles have also apparently suggested that Adley, Cowser, and Jackson Holiday are names that they have considered. Yeah, I don't know if I want to say go as far as available, but
listened on.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
I think it's going to be an interesting game of chess over this weekend and into Monday at 6:00. And Ross and I will probably be on Monday at like 6 or something like that. I know you have the Loxley presser. I have a feeling that we're going to get 1 or 2 sizable, significant trades. I think there's a real chance if he can pull off what I'm talking about and get an adequate replacement for Trevor Rogers, like Tyler Mahle or somebody like that, for a lesser return, that then there's a chance that he moves Rogers. You never know. Could be Rogers and Rutschman in one big deal.
Right.
Wow. That would definitely be a big move.
Yeah, it would be. So, I think there's a chance of that. I don't see the whole core going.
Sure.
I don't think Ward will be here next year. And I don't care what Craig Albernaz says. I don't think Rico Garcia will be here next year. So, I think there's a chance we could have a little bit of significant action.
Yeah, I mean, so they obviously need bullpen help. So is that something like what if they stand pat? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they trade Taylor Ward, but they also bring in a reliever as well.
Buying and selling.
Yeah,
I think they got to bring in a 1 or 2 relief pitchers.
I would agree. Yeah.
The whole notion that we're only 2.5 games out. The question isn't can you get into the dance? It's can you get in and and make a surprising run. And the one thing I've noticed in the last 7-8 years of playoff baseball is the playoffs are a different animal when it comes to that bullpen. And with all due respect to Albert Suarez and Anthony Nunez, they're not the arms that you need. And I'm not suggesting you were DFA either one of them, but those guys got to be replaced with better. And they may have to replace Garcia too. I mean, he's become really unreliable.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Rico Garcia.
The home run ball is
I
really
mean, his last 3 outings, he's given up a whole home run.
Right.
Basically, the first batter, I think, or first or second batter.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
But then he shuts down after that. I mean, he shuts him down after that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right. So where are we stand on Adley Rutschman at this point? Is it too tricky to deal him because we don't know when he's going to come back? I guess this is a big weekend for both he and Basayo trying to figure out when they're going to come back.
I'd have to know in order to trade Rutschman. I feel like you kind of got to know how much longer you'll be without Basayo.
Right.
But I think Rutschman is in play. And if they got over with, and I still always try and think of where he'd be. And I think in a rare trade here, that the Robbie Ray and a relief pitcher for Adley Rutschman makes an awful lot of sense for both sides. If the Orioles could get a bullpen piece that's an uptick over what they have, and you get a starter, either Molly or Robbie Ray.
Give it both. Yeah.
What's that?
But both. If we're giving up Adley, yeah.
How much contract does Robbie Ray have?
I'll even throw in.
Yeah.
I'll throw in one player that I'll take in a heartbeat is a Roz. If somehow I woke up at 6 o'clock and saw that the Orioles picked up Robbie Ray and a Roz,
they would trade for Luis Arraez and still sit him versus lefties.
There you go.
It'd be crazy. I mean, just
touche.
If I were to deal Adley personally, I'd be looking for a starting pitcher with like 4 or 5 years of control left, who I could plug into the rotation. Like I mentioned to Stan on our show a couple days ago, like if Will Smith is going to be out for a while with the Dodgers.
Dalton Rushing had a home run last night, I think.
There you go. You could do something like Rutschman for Emmett Sheehan plus.
Is Emmett Sheehan that?
I was just throwing out his name.
I mean, he's the worst starter in the Dodgers rotation, but is that really that bad?
And he's a very frustrating guy. But
there's an upside. There's an upside.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been an upside on him for like 5 years at this point. But he's like he's a pretty frustrating, but he's got big stuff.
I don't think that Rutschman is as attractive as you do, Luke. In other words, I think the injury thing now
is real. He's been on the IL 5 times in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So would it be if Adley is not moved here? Would it still be just as likely you think that we could see an off-season move for?
Yes, I think Rutschman. I don't think Rutschman will be on the team.
I don't know if
I think it's very interesting that they did pursue. One of the things I think Mike Elias knows is if he's going to be ballsy enough to trade Rutschman, he's got to have a significant number 2 catcher. And it's interesting that the Orioles were in on Logan O'Hoppe. They were interested in.
I agree with Stan that Rutschman will be traded before the start of next year.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think somebody like the guy that hits me is Sean Murphy of Atlanta. Like right now, you talk about a Trevor Rogers trade. That could make some sense. I think Murphy is due to come off the IL as well. I think he's on a rehab now.
I mean, he's got his job taken, but at this point,
right? Drake Baldwin's a great player, but Sean Murphy would be a great guy to catch 80 games in tandem with Basayo.
Aside from the Orioles, Stan, what team are you very intrigued by at this trade deadline? I think I have an answer.
Well,
what about you?
There's so many of them.
There are.
I think that the White Sox are going to be very interesting because I expect them to pick up. They could be a team that would be interested in Trevor Rogers. But I think they're very interested in Detmers. I think they'll be interesting. I think one of the biggest trades that could shock people is Skubal going to the Milwaukee Brewers
Yep.
or the Tampa Bay Rays?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Do you think the Dodgers would allow that? Just almost they have to play defense almost. Like getting Skubal for them would almost be more like it'd be more about just not letting him go to Milwaukee.
Right.
You know,
so for me,
the
Dodgers can dunk on any deal that any other team offers.
Yeah.
And
there's no question about it, but I think there is a limit to these huge players that they can sign. You know what I mean?
I don't think there is.
See there. I used to think that there was like the wrath of Bud Selig, where he would try to keep like the Yankees and Red Sox at bay a little bit. I don't know if a wrath of Rob exists to keep the Dodgers at bay.
Yeah,
personally.
Well, the salary cap would.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I guess that's why the owners want a salary cap.
Yeah, but it's going to be. I think every year we tend to say it's going to be really interesting. This year, because of the amount of teams that are still in play, I think it's going to be a very interesting couple days.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are the Twins going to do, and what are like the Seattle, Houston?
I think Seattle is going to be
Texas.
a seller. I think Seattle is going to end up sort of edging their bets.
Well, Seattle, for me, has to make some rotation moves because I think they've taken this rotation group as far as it can go. The problem for them is going to be getting value for some of those pitchers because a lot of those guys have the reputation of being a T-Mobile merchant.
Yeah.
and
all of them, I think.
Yeah. All of them. And they need to get Kate Anderson into their major league rotation. He's the best pitching prospect in the minor leagues, and he's still sort of just waiting for an opportunity.
Now, Luke, you mentioned, getting a controllable starting pitcher. I know Rutschman is not going to Seattle.
Right.
But, boy, I would be interested in Emerson Hancock.
Yeah. So sort of a redo on the 2020 draft?
2 or 3 years ago, I would have been – I remember when it was clear we were getting the number one pick that year, I remember Hancock at the end of the whatever season, 19 season or 18 season, and he was going to be the number one pick the next year.
Right.
And then he dropped to like number 20 or something.
Yeah, it was the 2020 draft. Orioles took Kerstead second. I think Hancock went like 9th or 10th or whatever. Sixth. And going into that year,
he went sixth.
I could have sworn he dropped the.
Yeah, going into that year, he was expected that maybe he could be the number one pick coming out of Georgia, but then COVID messed everything. I mean, that draft was
the second
a mess.
pitcher, the third pitcher. That's why Max Meyer, Asa Lacy went before Hancock.
That draft.
So
was
he was number 6.
Yes, he was 6th overall.
Okay, God, I remember him being like 17 or something.
Yeah, I mean, going into next year, it feels like you have 3 starters that you like in Bradish, Young, and Boz, and then after that, you need some answers. And I would love to come away from
Kramer.
I would love to come away from this deadline with another answer in the rotation.
Yeah,
long term. That's just me.
And they'll also be competing with actual contenders, though, right? Like, and that's
correct.
In theory, I guess.
Correct.
Right? Like, and I mean, who's the most? I guess there could be a guy that we don't know is available, but I mean, I guess you look at Joe Ryan as kind of that guy who we know has at least a little bit of control, but also the Twins are playing good baseball right now.
The Twins are not
trading Joe Ryan.
The Twins lead the American League in runs scored, I think.
Do they really?
Yeah.
518 runs, and the White Sox have 516 runs. Wow.
Look at those AL Central teams stand. The White Sox
how many runs do we have?
The Orioles have 501.
I think the Orioles are 3rd or 4th in the league.
They are behind the Yankees, behind Houston.
Okay, so they're 5th in the American League in runs scored. So feels like they should be better with the talent they have on hand.
So
that might
be
the
one most
of the
interesting.
Well, I mean,
still the most interesting player to me is Skubal.
Yep. What's your final prediction on where he lands?
I think the Cubs and Milwaukee and the Rays get into a real battle.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
with the Dodgers lurking.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to be boring. The Dodgers are going to cancel out whatever deal that is. What's
the final deal from the Dodgers? Is it like Robleski plus? If they offer Robleski plus,
I mean,
they're getting Skubal at that point.
Yeah, they tend though
I mean, or they
You
could
know,
give up like
the
5 of their
question is-
top 10 prospects, probably,
And they'll all suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The question is, they have
Yeah.
they have 3 starters in Glasnow, Snell, and Ohtani that we don't know right now what they're going to get.
Right.
So it's not going to surprise me if they pick up a pitcher, but I don't think they feel that they need Skubal for what they're going to have to give up.
Right.
I agree. I think I just think it. I think they don't want to face him in the NLCS. You know, I don't think they want to face him in the World Series.
They don't want to see Kyle
Like,
Tucker at bats against Tarik Skubal.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Because I mean, if you get Skubal, that's a great way to neutralize Ohtani in like an NLCS.
I mean,
You know?
in theory, I guess, but I feel like Ohtani hits everyone. I guess he's had. I mean, it depends how serious I guess these injuries
I
are.
mean,
Like he's been
you
banged
think-
up a lot
yeah,
this
I mean,
season.
you think back to that Philly series last year. The Phillies were able to throw Ranger Suarez, Chris Sanchez, and Jesus Luzardo at him, and they neutralized him.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean,
Ohtani did not take
I mean,
over
maybe
that
you're right.
series.
Maybe they're not scared at all, and they are confident. But they're the Dodgers. Like they might as well add like they're.
How
gonna
often
add
can you go
another
for 3 in a row?
reliever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them in the Trevor Rogers mark, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if they're
Right.
if they're worried, it seems like Snell and Glass now they're really slow rolling them to make sure that they're.
I
good
would
for
imagine
September
that
and-
a lot of teams right now are focused on Skubal. I bet Skubal gets dealt maybe not well before the deadline, but enough.
Casey
time-
Mize was he was scheduled to start tonight. The Tigers just pulled him as well. So
Really?
yeah.
Casey Mize.
Yeah. So it looks
Yeah.
like they are full sell.
Atlanta and the Cubs are supposedly in on Casey Mize.
Mm,
You know.
yeah.
But I think once Skubal goes, teams will then pivot to Rogers and Foster Griffin if they want
Yeah.
left-handed starting pitching.
Yeah.
So
And there's interest in Peralta, Reed
So if there's
Detmers,
that
Jose
robust-
Soriano,
Yeah.
you know.
if there's that robust of a market for Rogers, I mean, does it feel like they almost have to
Take advantage of it.
if he's going to be
Maybe.
the number 2 pitcher, number 2 lefty, you know, number 2 starter that's available at this deadline, like
Right.
I
mean,
think he's going to go. I really do.
yeah.
Yeah, I've come around to that.
I don't think there's
and
any chance they
player,
re-sign him.
the
either.
only player I remember the Orioles ever letting go in a trade and then re-signing was Mike Borden.
How about Sidney Ponson? No, seriously, that happened. They traded him to the Giants, and I was happy that they traded him.
Trevor Rogers, the next Sidney Ponson.
And then they re-signed him for 3 years. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
That happened.
Well, they'd have to decide.
But
But it was the same
Rogers, probably
situation where
4
they
or
were
5.
desperate for innings, so
Yeah.
they brought him back.
He had some bad in that.
I mean,
clubhouse.
something you said, Stan, was like if it's not about the Orioles trying to get in as the 6th wild card. It's about them trying to actually do something.
Do something in
Yeah,
the playoffs.
actually do something in the playoffs. And I mean,
And I
in
still
that-
think the biggest need that they have is in that they've got to.
I can't
uptick that
disagree
bullpen.
in the bullpen. Yeah,
And
the
they
bullpen.
just have-
Where's Mason Miller going to go, guys?
New York probably. I don't
Do you
know.
think Mason Miller goes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like there's too
Oh, you-
much. There's too much. Morejone's definitely
much smoke?
going. Yeah, I just feel like there's too much
I
chatter
think
about
he's
it.
gonna-
And this is what the Padres do. They go all
The Padres
in
are
on a
in
guy for
weird-
1 year.
They're in a weird place.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they have a lot of bad money on the books. That's on the books for a long time, and they have kind of an empty farm at this point. It's not a
They
great place
do have
to
an
be.
empty farm right now, and I think he'll view Morjan
They
and
are
Miller as the guys to
Refill
get
it.
ready, to refill
And
it.
they're also in the same division as the
they're
Dodgers.
1 game over 500. They are 2 games back of the Phillies for the 3rd
Griff,
wild
what
card.
what kind of numbers does Michael King have right now?
think he's
I
having
saw
a
where he has
yeah.
I saw where he has an opt out.
King this year, 125 innings, and sorry, I thought they were going to show the full stats there.
ERA.
338.
It's
Pretty
having a
good.
real solid year.
Yeah, 22
How about
starts.
strikeouts to innings pitched?
109 strikeouts in 125 innings. So
He's a ground ball guy.
1.17 WHIP. Yeah,
And what about his
he's having a really
walks?
solid year.
What about his walks?
Total
125
walks,
innings?
50. So
50. That's
yeah.
not good.
3.6 walks.
And
per
you really
9.
want a good infield defense behind him. So maybe the Cubs?
What you're not saying the Orioles have a good infield defense? Is that
I'm
what-
not saying that. As a matter of fact.
What are you saying?
Well, I mean, anyway, I mean, like the point I was trying to make, Stan, was like if in theory, if the Orioles were to grab one of these wild card spots, you would think that means that this offense all of a sudden starts performing the way that we thought they would.
And Gunnar starts.
I mean, if you had told us that
better,
the rotation over the past 2 months was going to be one of the best rotations in the league in MLB, and they were still going to be 3 games under 500 at this point, I mean, that would be kind of shocking, just without seeing what the offensive numbers were, because you just would have assumed that this offense would have kept them afloat at some point, and the offense has just been so disappointing. I don't really know. Like, can we at this point, can we still be saying, well, like, what if they get hot?
Yet they've got over 500 runs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true.
I mean, but it does. The consistency of the offense has been disappointing.
Stan, my brother wanted me to ask you about Dean Kramer, obviously the one guy in the rotation right now that we're least confident. I mean, he's just not been good.
No.
What did you make of Tuesday night when he was in the staring contest with Pete Alonso? Did you happen to see that?
I kind of saw the end of it. I didn't get. Maybe you can explain to me what.
I got a video for you.
Yeah. Can you explain, Griffin, what was going on there?
I mean, I don't think it was that big of a deal, but people were.
I guarantee it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big of a deal at all. But I think Dean caught Pete off guard with a pickoff attempt here, and I'm trying to share it here so everybody can see. But yeah, I don't think that was big of a deal. Pete just had kind of a weird reaction, like a head shake afterwards.
Right.
Hold on, I want to mute this so that we can hear. So that way we can. Stan can just talk over it. Stan.
He has a little bit of a.
Yeah, I mean he's asking him if he can see, and for some reason, yeah, Pete kind of has a weird. And obviously the other part of this is that Dean turns around and gives up 8 runs immediately after this. So it's like it was just ugly. I mean,
Dean is a very finicky guy. He may not have. Wasn't he pitching to Pozo for the first time?
Right.
Yeah. Dean gets a little jumpy with new catcher. No.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it had the thing with the silo last year.
Little temperamental. But he gives good post game interviews. He stands there and answers the questions. And
the Alonso thing was not my biggest concern from that night.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest concern was that he didn't look healthy. His stuff was rolling to the plate. It was not biting through the zone. And as Ben McDonald mentioned on the broadcast, he looked uncomfortable on the mound. He just did not seem like a healthy pitcher to me.
Well, if they're trading Trevor Rogers, I mean,
someone's got to pitch.
Yeah,
but Bassett is coming back.
Bassett is coming back. Bassett had a good.
Yeah, it was
rehab.
just a
veteran,
veteran rehab start.
He was
pitching. Where was it at?
It was Norfolk.
Stan, why aren't they calling up? I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Why aren't they calling up Creed Willems?
He can't catch.
Yeah, I mean,
they're telling you he can't catch.
I'll give you.
So they'd rather see Sam Huff strike out 4 times.
Apparently, they'd rather see Jake Rogers. Like I've watched a lot of Creed Willems at Aberdeen. He can't catch in the major leagues.
He was catching Bassett the other night. I mean,
that's true.
And
you know what? That's true.
And hit a home run that night.
And you know what? The reason they probably had him catch Bassett was that they could ask Bassett, can he catch in the major leagues? And Chris won't lie to him.
Yeah.
Like, he'll tell him. And so if Creed comes up, probably got a good review from Chris Bassett.
Okay. Well, I want Bassett to just lie.
What are
I don't care if he can't catch.
What are Creed's numbers? Right?
He's having a nice year.
Yeah, he is. I think he's having. I mean, is it his? I guess it's probably not his best year. I don't know. I feel like it might be. He's got 14. I know he's got 14 homers. Oh, he's got 16. He hit another one later this week. Okay. He's got 16 homers.
Luke saw him a lot at Aberdeen.
He's got 14 in AAA. I think that's what.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
He's got a good swing.
Yeah.
He's got pop.
And he's got great hair. I mean,
he's got great hair. He's a great kid.
Yeah, he's fun to talk
Luke,
to.
who's the catcher that I saw at Chesapeake?
Ethan Anderson. He's been out for a little while.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with him.
But he was having a good year.
Yes, he was. Then. Yes, he was.
I don't know. Anything we missed with Stan?
I think we just about covered everything, honestly, with Stan.
Power rankings will be out Monday.
Or you want to do that Tuesday after the deadline?
I'm gonna do them Sunday.
Okay.
My book. It's very complicated. My book is set. It's set all the way. Every week I have mapped.
It's got to be on Monday.
You can't
change it.
You can't disturb a master work. Okay, Luke.
All right.
Who were your top 5 last week? Where were the Orioles ranked as well?
The Orioles were ranked going into this week, the Orioles were ranked 21st.
Ugh.
But the difference between, say, Arizona at 10
Right.
and 22 is probably about 6 games, difference between those 12 teams.
Where did you have the Phillies ranked? They are
Phillies
sputtering.
were 5th. The Phillies were 5th. They will most likely drop to about, depending upon this weekend.
Right, yeah, of course they have a great
come in
weekend.
here and really tumble the Orioles. They'll probably stay around 5th. The Yankees, it'd be interesting. I know we didn't talk about this, but the Yankees are a fascinating team to watch at this. They don't
have a catcher.
Idea. I don't think they have any idea when they're getting Judge back, and Bellinger sounds like at the shortest is going to be 4 weeks.
By the way,
they do have Cole and Schlittler, and they got Max Fried back. Weathers pitched another good game last night. I don't know. Rodon to me is one of those guys. It's like do you really get excited he's back? Because it's like 3 weeks later he's not going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, would you rather have Will Warren and Ryan Weathers, I guess, pitching over him? I'm not sure.
By the way, I have a buddy who just chimed in. He says, we don't care that Creed can't catch.
I'm in that camp as well.
There you go.
I'm on that camp. I mean, I can't watch Chadwick Trump have another at bat.
No.
Is that your scout buddy?
No. This is a really good golfer.
Okay.
Wow.
Good golfer.
He's a really good golfer.
How would you describe your golf game?
Bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He can't teach you anything?
No, he hasn't been able to teach me anything. Can you believe it?
Maybe you're not a willing learner.
That could be it.
Okay.
Griff, how's Luke doing in that host chair?
Terrible. Terrible.
He's been all right. Yeah.
I'm no Stan the fan.
Hey, well, we miss you. We miss you.
Teaching him everything you taught.
I'm trying to. We go to break. I kind of run down. This is what was good, and then and then I let him know what needs to.
I'll be in next Friday tentatively. I think I'll be driving by then. And Byron Warnken will join us next Friday.
Nice. Very exciting.
All
Very
right.
exciting.
All right.
All right. I think that's everything.
Anything else, guys?
You said you're doing your trade deadline show Monday night.
I'm doing something Monday night,
and then we'll do another wrap on Tuesday.
Luke and I may hop on Tuesday.
Find those on all the Press Box channels, YouTube, Facebook.
Yes.
Check them out.
Griffin, if I'm going to negotiate this with you, if I can't get Mr. Colson, could you get me on the air Monday night?
This Monday? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, like around.
Unless the Orioles trade for Tarik Skubal, then actually sure. Then I'll just hop on with you.
What am I talking about? We'll do it like 6:15, I think.
Okay.
Be the time to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, keep me posted.
All right. All right, that's going to do it for me here.
All right, thanks, Stan. Appreciate you. Keep
Luke, thank
improving.
you for driving in the last 2 weeks to do the Friday baseball show. We'll have you in. We'll have you in when I'm healthy.
All right, you bet.
All right.
Talk to you later,
guys
Stan.
soon.
See ya.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.